What's up, boys and girls? Sure, you just finished watching the game as I did with Tony and Bertrand. Big shout out to those two. Always a pleasure. 2-2 it finished with Arsenal Rangers, and it really shouldn't have been that. If you add up the amount of goals that Arsenal have missed during the Hibernian game and the Rangers game, you could have come up to probably 7 or 8. I mean, today could have been 5, 6. Hibernian could have been 3, 4 goals. So instead of scoring 8, 10 goals over the last few games, you've scored 3. The good news is that we're getting into those positions to actually create those chances. Eddie Nketiah, who missed a chance against Hibernian, and actually he scored today. Both instances were chances that he created by himself. I like the way it's a theme that he works hard, and his defensive game is in my opinion, is better than any of our front players outside of Martinelli, I would say. I think Martinelli definitely matches Nketiah for his work rate and defensive work. But the fact that he's chasing down defenders, closing them down, winning the ball back off of them and putting himself in position. Today, Nketiah showed you what he was all about, and he took his finish well and made amends for the miss that he had against Hibernian. And if Palace bag him, they've got themselves a guy who can bag goals in and work hard for you and practically do all the things that none of the Palace strikers are doing at the moment. So he played well. Reiss Nelson continues to show me that Arsenal made a mistake in not giving him any minutes last year. Simple as that. He made a decision to stay at the team, and like Maitland-Niles, was rewarded with nothing but the bench. And in most times, Reiss Nelson didn't even have the bench. And I really do like what I see. Every time I see Reiss Nelson, he's positive on the ball. He doesn't give the ball away. He goes past players. He puts balls into the box. I mean, what more do you want? Yeah, he takes shots on goal. He hits the target. He's pretty much a polar opposite of what Willian is. And we don't know what's going to happen with the player. If you look at the other players like Joe Willock and Maitland-Niles, at least you can account for the fact that those players may go on loan. At least you can say, well, I understand where those players are in their development. They'll probably go out on loan, and then we'll see what happens after that. With Reiss Nelson, you don't even know. You don't know. Is he going to go? Is he going to stay? Is he going to be sold? Is he going to be going on loan? You don't have any idea what the team are doing with Reiss Nelson. And granted that he was carrying a few injuries last year, maybe this is his time to shine. Still a very young player, happy with his performances in both the games of Hibernian and Rangers. Smith Rowe has just been lights out. And I made a point about him and Pepe that, funny enough, him and Pepe have had 2 strong games. And who were the 2 best players in the team coming off the latter half of the season and the 5-game winning streak we ended up the season with? It was both those guys. It was Smith Rowe and Pepe. And today they showed you still why they in high regard of Arteta. He's got a lot of work to do with getting these guys to the point where they need to perform at a top level next season. And I have to shout out Thomas Partey as well. Smith Rowe and Partey are 2 of the guys who just went through last season and wasn't really fit, I would say. You know, they didn't come in, and I've been saying for a while they need a pre-season. Well, guess what? They get in the pre-season. They've had a rest. They've had their nutrition and fitness training, and they've come in and they've looked lively. And Partey has looked like money. Partey looked like the Partey we bought, who turned up and got man of the match in the Man United win. That's what this Thomas Partey looks like. A little bit confused with why he's taken free kicks though. And I know he hit the post against Hibernian and over here just over the bar. But on the other hand, you have Pepe, who's a baller at free kicks. See, Thomas Partey is developing himself, and he's obviously done something in practice which has told Arteta, you know, give this guy a shot. But Pepe doesn't need a shot. Pepe is the man when it comes to set pieces. And I don't know why he's not taking the free kicks, especially when you think of the fact that the free kicks was on the right-hand side and the goalkeeper was standing to his left in the post. So all you need is someone to do is get it over the wall, swing it into the right side postage stamp, and then that's it. It would have been in the back of the net. Yet you had somebody in Thomas Partey who was right-footed, and it would have been harder for him to curl the ball in on that side, and I kind of don't understand that. But I guess with pre-season, you're tinkering ideas, aren't you? So I'm not going to say what's happening is completely confusing, because I get it. These are things that have been talked about in training, and these are the things that you want to look at in pre-season games to kind of gauge where players are. Who did a lot better was the young Arsenal goalkeeper, Our 18-year-old did a lot better today. Crosses came in. I saw him getting his hands up on them, catching them firm with authority, and look much more confident. And it's good. Let's see that moving forward. I asked for him to be started against Rangers, and he did. And I'm begging for him to start again against Inter Milan. Lot harder competition coming up now. No room for mistakes. But these are the type of things that you want to see when you're developing players. So I'd really like to see him get a run out, and hopefully he can take a lot from this game and move forward. And now let's talk about Tavares. Tavares, man. Wow, you got yourself a player. 6.8 million, and you've got somebody who looks really adept at getting forward. His pace is astonishing. I've seen all the videos, seen him play 2 games, especially one against us for Benfica. But today he showed me some lightning speed, man, on the overlap. And I don't think, actually, when he scored his goal, I don't think the defender thought that he could get there in time. He was at a distance away where the defender thought, okay, I've got enough time to take a few touches on the ball. Tavares took the ball and nipped his back pockets. And not only that, but he got the ball on his right foot. He swung the ball in and got it on his right foot and placed it into the back. So he's naturally two-footed. And this is the reason why I said he's played a few games at right back for Benfica. And I don't know whether that's something that Arteta has as an option. Maybe he has, maybe he hasn't. For now, he's a backup left back. Let's see if he actually plays himself into a role of a right back. Yeah? That's what he's here for. He's here to be developed. And your development means finding out what position suits you better, as well as the defensive work that he has. And I know that was a knock on him to say that he was inconsistent in defence, and time will tell. We've got stiffer opposition now, and I think with Spurs, Chelsea and Inter Milan, we're going to kind of really get a real good look at where we are with him. But really do like the buy. I'm hoping that Lokonga would be completed in the next week, and that maybe in time he might get a shout and make an appearance against Inter Milan. But we're really seeing some good things here. Again, Lacazette holding up the ball well. I don't even want to talk about Aubameyang. What are you thinking? I mean, some of the stuff that he's missing, you'd rather him miss now than in the regular season. Because we had just come off the FA Cup win, remember? And then we had the Charity Shield, we won that. So pre-season for Aubameyang was kind of really sharp. But this pre-season, we're not seeing anything. We're not seeing, there's remarks coming in from you guys saying he doesn't want to be here, his head's not in it. One of you guys said he's still on holiday. Those are the kind of things now that Arsenal are thinking of. And it just stinks of a player who's coming in here and dialing it in and just not really commit himself. And I don't want to be too against him. I know a few of the other guys might be really hard on him. But I think that he was running the channels well today. He was stuck back on the left. And I think he ran the channels and supported Tavares well today. And he also dropped back. The slip ball he put in through for Balogun was a golden opportunity. Aubameyang should have had an assist there, but Balogun hit it straight at the goalkeeper, and that was a good save there. But you can see that as long as he's kind of heads in it, I just want to see these things develop. Let's hope that he starts to hit the ball running, because we cannot sit and waste this guy. We cannot waste him on the bench. He has to be able to pull his weight. I think that he has to make himself accountable, and the only way he can do that is continue to work up and down the flanks, make himself a creative force, and get in the box and get on top of things. Like the things I see Edin Nketiah do is the things that Aubameyang should be doing. He's the man on 350 grand a week. You need to be working harder, backtracking and closing people down in the midfield, and you should be pressing the back line and forcing them into errors. And there's just something I don't see from the player. I've seen it from Nketiah today. We saw it from Nketiah last week in the chance he missed. And we're not seeing that from your captain and your highest paid player. How does that work out? It should be the opposite. We should be seeing the highest paid player and the captain being the one who's trying the hardest on the team and making things happen out of nothing. But we're not seeing that. So just a few of my thoughts from today. Again, I'm not going to be negative and talk about the Willian and Kolasinac. It frustrated me and Tony, because we're saying, look, well, why are these players even here? I know they're shopping them around and they're showing other teams that these guys are fit, because the concern for other teams is, hold on, you want me to buy a player who hasn't played regular football in ages, who you don't want? How do we know he's fit? How do we know what form he's in? So I get why you're playing them, but guys, 2 games now you played these guys. They're not in your future. They're not in your plans. You have no dreams to have these guys playing. So don't waste time and other people's development while you're showcasing these two players. 2 games, enough, done. Sell them off, get rid of them. Tell them to go and find a new team, because you're holding players back. One of the players we didn't think we were going to say, Joe Willock, today. Joe Willock came on, his passing range was nice. I made a comment on the stream that you had seen a fewer passes from the midfielders go 5 yards behind. You play, guys running into space and you're putting the ball behind him, so he has to stop, backtrack, pick up the ball and then carry on moving. You want to hit players in stride. When Joe Willock came on, he was doing that today. He looked sharp, his positioning, his movement. I loved what I see. He wasn't on the field for long, but what I saw from him is this guy's ready to play in the first team, and he's ready to show you what he's all about. So many missed chances today. We didn't lose, so if you can take any positives, that's the positives. But there's some positives to think about and there's some negatives to think about. And for me, you let a goal in last week on a set piece against Hibernian, and 2 of your goals today was on set pieces, something that you was one of the top teams in defending in the Premiership last season. And I get that Gabriel and Holding and Louise was the linchpin players in there, and let's not talk about Sender Ross Holding scary haircut today, but I think that at some point you've got to wait until you get some of your players back, and then the Ben White situation, as we know, is happening as I said it would 10 days ago. So we're ever much closer now because the numbers have actually been agreed. So look forward to, as I said before, to that happening in the next week or so. But for me right now, no real concerns, because guys, my expectations ain't that high for Arsenal. They're not high. If my expectations was that this team was going to get in the top 4, if I really truly thought that was going to happen, I would be expecting more in these last 2 performances. But I'm not expecting much. So when I see performances like this, I'm like, meh, because it's kind of what I expected. But D-Dubs was saying today they might finish 11th, 13th. I don't think they're going to finish any worse than 8th. And we have to wait to see who they bring in and how the preseason goes before we make any decisions on where we think they're going to see. But we are going to have a show that's going to go around predicting the first 10 games. How much points out of a possible 30 will Arsenal get? Just like we did last season. And then we'll kind of give our predictions on where they will finish as well. So that's going to be coming up in the next couple of weeks. But for now, guys, thanks for supporting the channel. Subscribe to the channel and like this video. And I'll speak to you guys the next one, man. Peace out. Right back at you.